I offered him an opportunity to come with me, and he had the opportunity to say yes or no. And at that point in his career, his heart was right where it was, which there was nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, but it's like I told him, I said, I'm going to keep coming to you until I can get you, and it just worked out now. Because last year he was out of contract. The year before, he still had a year left.
Yeah, you're right. Where'd your dad work, by the way?
He was a Dallas police officer.
Right. Like any
BPD?
Just plain old Dallas police?
Yeah, I think he was when he finished, I want to say he was I've been in narcotics or something like that. Right. He died when I was 5. Okay. He was one of those guys that was hanging on the Oswald when he got shot down there.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a late life kid. We were big time accidents. My mom and dad had us when they were 43. Yeah. So he passed away when we were 5.
How do you come to know about that picture?
How do I come to know it?
Yeah, that's a weird thing to learn about.
Well, I mean, he was there.
Yeah.
He was one of the last guys to talk to him. He put him on the gurney. So, I mean, obviously that was kind of that might have been our family's only claim to fame at that point, was that he was there. Yeah. So that was it. I mean, he's in that picture. He's standing right behind Lee Harvey Oswald as the gun points through his stomach. If it went through him, it had hit BL, my dad. It hit him. That's where he's aligned. And if you see the picture, you'll see him. He looks just like me, except he's got better hair.
Thank you,
Coach, you talked about this morning. I think you mentioned this in the past too. Your claim that you don't even know who you guys are playing week 2, because your focus is so much on week 1. The first time you presented that kind of concept to the players, what was their reaction? Did it take them a second about, Coach, what are you talking about, or anything like that?
I think they knew it, and they embraced it. I mean, I've heard them today talk about 1-0, and it's something that, I haven't had an original idea in my mind in my life, and neither has a lot of people, but it's something I learned a long time ago in coaching. I mean, I just think that if you're looking past something, you're going to have a hard time. And, and it's the truth. It's not the first time that we've done this from the time we've been at KU, but there's just a lot more focus put on it now. So they've embraced it. I think they enjoy the idea of knowing that the most important game is always your next one, period. It's hard to win a college football game. I don't care who you're playing. It doesn't matter if it's a Division I, Division II team. It's hard. There's so much parity out there now that if you look past, you're going to get beat. We're going to get beat.
When did you kind of first present that to them? That, like, I don't even know who we're playing after Rhode Island. When did that first come up?
We talked about our identity and our slogan for this season right after the season last year, and that's when that, in addition to the slogan, was brought in. And that's those are the things that we put on our shirts, and we live by them every day, and we talk about them every day.
And we talked about a clear divider in the quarterback battle. What do you envision that being? What do you envision is going to make the difference?
Well, I think I said it earlier that the good news with these guys, all my guys that are in there that are competing to be the starter, it's a wash. They all work hard. They all know the system. They all are gym rats. They're watching video nonstop. They're everywhere they're supposed to be. I'm not going to be able to rule a guy out because he doesn't like watching video. So now it's going to come down to what they're doing on the field in practice and showing me. And the thing about it is, it's no different for me than it is for any other position. The cream always rises. There will be a guy that will separate himself. There will be a guy in the next 3.5, 4 weeks that will separate himself. And when that happens, that natural divider will occur. And when it happens, we'll make the announcement and we'll go from there. And I honestly do not know which one it'll be. How could I? I mean, Ryan Willis hadn't even gone through it. He hadn't taken a snap in this yet. So, and there's no way I'm going to not let him be in that competition. Man, that dude's good. He's talented.
So what obstacles does Ryan face with the wrist? I mean, what?
He's fine now. I mean, he's 100% healthy. His only obstacle is he missed 15 workouts and probably 30 opportunities at walkthroughs. Well, he went through walkthroughs, but 15 workouts at throws and handoffs and exchanges. So, but the good news is you saw him. I mean, he was there going through just about everything except for actually physically throwing the ball.
Wanting to be as informed as possible on this decision, part of why you took over as QB coach?
No, I mean, I think I said it earlier. The reason I did it is because it was always the plan. I mean, I had to be unselfish enough to step away last year because there was too much total program to manage. If I underestimated one thing, it was how much our relationship with our fan base had been fractured, that I needed to get out there and mend those fences with our fans and make them understand that we care about them, we love them, and that this thing's about them. It's about our fans, it's about our university, and it'll never be about the man in that chair as long as I'm here. It'll always be about them. And I just felt like that was going to take a lot of my time. And that might not be the funnest thing for people, and maybe people may not like that answer, but it needed to be done. And we had to do it.
Do you feel like winning is the only thing that can fix that fracture that you talked about?
It is a part of it. You don't get to finish the job without doing it. And, you know, I mean, I understand that full well, which is why I know, without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to get it done because the alternative is not an option.
You have a certain level of admiration that Montell is both still here, still a quarterback, has had a bunch of criticism, and gets back up every single time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't read much. I don't listen to much. So I'm really I'm not exposed to it a whole lot. But I'm told what I need to know. And that guy's been through some criticism that, you know, I mean, I don't know how much sometimes guys can take, but man, he is a picture of poise and gets through it. And like I said, I mean, he's got an advantage because he's got a lot of football in his mind. You know, his only problem is not confusing one thing with another because he knows so much. But he's, man, I just, for what his experience has been like and the way that he handles it is exactly how you'd want a man to handle it. That's what a man does. A boy runs from it. And I tell our guys this all the time. Here's how we live. A boy does what he wants to do. A man does what he has to do. And he's a man. He stands up to criticism every time. He doesn't hang his head. He doesn't hang his head when he has a new coach or he has a new this or he has a new that. Hey, listen, I'm coaching quarterbacks, but if you think it's much different than what we were doing with Rob, you're out of your mind. It's very simple. Rob and I are as tight as you can imagine. So, I mean, we share a lot of the similar values when it comes to that, so it's not that much different there.
Coach, a lot of people talk about you being from Dallas, you being a former Texas high school football coach, but I look at your roster and you have a lot of people from Houston. How strong is your tie to that area?
Pretty strong. And, I mean, we're not just a Dallas guy, we're Texas dudes. I mean, a lot of our guys are from that area. Joe DeForest recruited Houston very successfully when he was at Oklahoma State. I mean, cleaned up down there. So if you think that wasn't a part of it, I mean, you hire people for what they know and for what they can do. And, you know, there's a recruiting piece to this too. And man, he brought instant soup to Houston, Texas. You know, Calvin Thibodeau was down there, did a nice job for us. So we had to have somebody that could recreate that production.
What have you seen from the programs in Houston? Obviously, they don't have some of the stuff that the Dallas area schools do, like the indoor practice facilities. Most of them do have the turf fields, but still the stadiums aren't nearly as big. What is the talent level down there compared to some of those other areas?
I would say there's talent everywhere, but that city has a lot of raw talent, and they are starting to catch up facility-wise, but you're right, there's a night and day difference between the north part of the state and the south part of the state in terms of the haves and have-nots. Indoor facilities, weight rooms that are off the charts, a lot of different things like that. And it's starting to migrate itself south, and I have a feeling that it will reach its way all the way down to Houston, but the talent there, I mean, there's such a large population base there that just the sheer numbers alone are going to present a number more of athletes, but they're untapped in my opinion. They're not as developed because maybe they don't have some of the tools, but really good football coaches down there too.
What one player that